Earlier this year, I shot two videos of New Year's resolutions I plan to make. But I realized there's a third one I forgot to talk about. And this is a New Year's resolution I plan to make for the rest of my life, which is to experiment with life more and to take lessons away from them. Similarly to how you might do a science experiment to improve our daily lives. I just need to do more life experiences so that I can make better choices. I sometimes, inexperience sometimes catches me off guard. A situation or a circumstance occurs that I've never seen before, and it might seem minor to somebody with experience, but I've never seen it before. And I get into a mental jam and I make very rash decisions. The rash decisions sometimes cause other circumstances to occur, and then I make more rash decisions. And I go into a downward spiral sometimes. So let me give you some examples of things I've learned in recent years. Ever since I've moved into my car, which I actually quite enjoy, there were things that I did not anticipate could happen when one lives in their car. I knew it could be cold or hot, right? I knew it could rain or snow. I knew that people might ask me to move if they need to use the parking lot for something in the middle of the night. I prepared for all of that. But there were many unforeseen matters that I did not prepare for. One of which was I knew I would have much less space than if I were living in an apartment. I knew that. I didn't know the consequences of that, or at least not all of them. One of the first things that ever caught me off guard when I ever first ever lived in my car, this was many years ago, was that how I do my laundry would be a little bit more tricky than I thought. We have laundromats. The first time I ever lived in my car was in Rochester. We have laundromats there too. The problem was that obviously when I move into my car, I downsize stuff a lot, right? I get rid of the oldest clothing I have. I donate it. But then when I went to do the laundry, I realized I couldn't wash the clothes on my back. I know it sounds funny, but when you get used to living in an apartment, you tend to forget little minute details like that. I know it sounds funny now looking back at it. And obviously laundromat is only open certain hours, so that can be a little. That wasn't as bad as that didn't catch me off guard. But the fact that I couldn't wash the clothes on my back caught me off guard. I know it's funny, which is why I'm saying I need to experiment with life more so I could catch these things. Okay. What else did I have trouble with? I sometimes misplace things in my car. It's much more easier because of the lack of space. I liken my car to when NASA sent a rover onto Mars. They obviously can't keep too much crap in there. Obviously, nobody's going to keep an old gadget that nobody wants to use on there. I treat my car almost like it's an Earth rover. The funny thing is, when I first downsized into my car, I actually got rid of material stuff more than sentimental stuff. I kept a lot of sentimental stuff, and I got rid of perfectly good material stuff. I donated it. It's kind of funny how limited space affects your value system. Um, but the problem is that it's very easy to misplace stuff. I've had times where I misplace my cell phone and I just go weeks without it. I miss important phone calls. I might miss an opportunity. Other times I misplace my medication, and I don't do too well without my medication, so maybe a little bit of a problem. I love my image too well to just pull into a Starbucks and put everything out on the street to look for something. That can be a little bit of a problem. I didn't anticipate this though. Like I said, I mostly worried about rain or snow or people kicking me out of their parking lots, which rarely happens actually. One thing I also did a lot of research on was where I can park my car so that I can reach an extension cord and plug stuff in. Believe it or not, that's very important for my lifestyle. I love to cook and I love to keep my computer running simulations all night. And I know it sounds funny, but that was very important for my lifestyle. But the point is, I with doing experiments comes gaining these knowledges, and I need to experiment more. Um, Sometimes because I have so much problems with these things. Sometimes before I go in to talk to my boss, or before I go into what I know will be a high stress situation, I have a tendency to do rehearsals. Okay, if my boss says this, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna feel this way. I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna be strong with these words, or something like that. Problem is that sometimes the one thing I didn't anticipate comes up, but then I get to add that to my encyclopedia. I really need to experiment more and not be afraid to speak up. Earlier this year, I had a situation where I had to speak up to my boss. We were using an air freshener in the office I was working at. It was making me ill, and I spent many hours rehearsing that conversation, even though it turned out to be a 5 minute conversation with my boss. And I'm really proud of how I did it. And it flowed very well. What else have I done? I need to be more bold. I recently had a situation where I I had a mental jam like this, and I said some things that were really inappropriate. And in the past, I would have hid from that person, but I sorted out how to apologize to that person, and it turned out well as well. I get into jams when things I have never anticipated comes up. Uh, for example, I don't want to talk about what happened with the guy I argued with, but for example, not thinking about these tricky laundry situations when I move into my car. I never thought of it. It's not like it's not like I wouldn't know how to solve it. I just never realized the problem sat there, which is what I mean by experimentation. I need to be a little bit more bold and speak up in where I used to just silently suffer in the past. I need to not be afraid of things. I have a tendency to shy away from things that I know that will cause me to make mistakes. I need to make those mistakes, even if it means damaging my reputation when it happens, because I add to my knowledge base when I do it. Thanks for watching.